to deal with the speed, skill, and ferocity of Chris Eubank Jr.
I don't think anyone can complain with the referee stoppage there.
10th round.
It was all one-way traffic in this round. You could see the fellow was weakening, Quinlan.
Let's see if it works.
Again here on the ropes, getting caught with big shots. Howard Foster's having a look. He's a good referee, Howard Foster, and I think that was a cracking decision.
10th round stoppage. We're going to wait for the we're going to wait for the post-fight interview to see what Chris Eubank Jr. has to say. This fight he fought against Renold Quinlan of Australia was his first fight since June of 2016 when he fought Tom Doran. And remember, he was supposed to fight Golovkin in September of 2016, but of course you should know by now how that fight fell apart because of his father. So now he's got this ITV deal. He's fought on pay-per-view over there. Many people were pissed, were saying, how is this fight on pay-per-view to begin with? But now the question is, who does he fight next? And also, he's a world champion. He's the IBO champion, you know? He's the IBO. Now, here's the thing. In this day and age, the IBO title is not what it used to be in the 90s and early 2000s. You know, something happened where they lost their way. But now, when it comes to recognized titles, especially in the mainstream boxing market, it's the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO. And then it's just the IBO. Now, from my understanding, they're going to use this IBO title to try to bring some prestige back. For example, I went and looked at the IBF, IBO rankings and saw, you know, how they have their rankings set up. When was the last time the IBO had a purse bid, or, you know, when was the time we heard in the news of the IBO ordering a fighter to fight somebody? You know, you don't hear news about fighters dropping the IBO belt because people really don't care about it. We're waiting for the Chris Eubank Jr. post-fight interview. Let me see.
And perhaps paid him the ultimate compliment when he says Chris Eubank Jr. can fight almost as well as I talk. Well, he's produced.
So, also, you have to think that they have bad blood with two of, if not the two biggest UK boxing promoters in Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, you know. But I look at it like this, like, truth be told, I think that, you know, especially if you've seen it, you know, go check it out. You got to go check out Chris Eubank's The Warrior's Code. You know, if you're not living by and down by the Warrior's Code, then you shouldn't be around, or there's no reason why you should be walking this earth like a god.
To continue, therefore your winner and the new IBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World,
that highly coveted and alluring IBO title.
So Chris Eubank Jr. acknowledging the applause he's receiving here at the London Olympia.
I mean, do you consider the IBO to be like a legitimate championship? I'm not saying that it's not.
Over Renold Quinlan.
But in this day and age, it's kind of not.
And much
recognized
of that and brilliance resides right here in Great Britain.
So we want to hear his post-fight interview. We want to hear who he possibly may want to fight.
So what will the future of the boxing business hold for this man? He's done a terrific job tonight in complete control throughout, and he scored a 10th round stoppage victory, which is how that green strap has come to be around his waist. Chris Eubank Jr. is the new IBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World.
Thanks, Ronald. I'm sure we'll hear from both junior, maybe senior as well before we go off air. Andre, you're happy with when Howard Foster...
Yeah, we want to listen to the post-fight interview.
Enough's enough.
So,
there's no way that Quinlan's coming back into this.
Now, he wants to fight Golovkin. He's saying he wants to fight Golovkin. You know, he's saying he wants to fight James DeGale and all those guys and George Groves. And it's not that those fights can't be made, but they've already burned some bridges, you know, with Eddie Hearn. You know, remember, the Billy Joe Saunders fight was out there, too. The rematch. There was a press conference for the rematch. You know, so it's just You know, I mean, I want to believe. I want to believe in Chris Eubank Jr. I want to believe in it. You know, he does have some skills, and also what you see from him is he's one of those type of fighters that he's very exciting to watch because he's like if he has you on the ropes or he has you hurt, he's going to throw everything at you, and he's got some pretty mean uppercuts. You know, but what does he bring? Oh, interview.
Chris Eubank Jr. did a great job, and he did what he had to do, and that's what he had to do.
Okay, well, here is Chris Eubank Jr. Chris,
I hope you guys can hear it.
congratulations. The first, I know you will hope of many world titles around your waist. What about your own assessment of your performance this evening?
First things first, I thank God if I got him enough as possible. And second of all, my team, my family, my close friends, everybody helped me to get to the stage. I couldn't have done that alone. So this is history. It's history repeating itself. I'm a world champion. You know? This is the Eubanks are back. We're in full force.
And your assessment then? I mean, you gave him a lot of respect. He deserved that respect, didn't he? He was very tough. He was very durable. But what do you say about your own performance?
I think it's that Aborigine skull he's got. It was very hard. It was like hitting concrete. Big respect to Renold Quinlan. He's flown halfway across the world to defend his title against the press, and he didn't have to do that. So full respect to him. But this is just the beginning here on ITV. Now that I'm a world champion, now I have my ticket. This is my ticket right here to challenging the rest of the middleweights, the rest of the super middleweights that have belts.
Don't I want that IBL belt?
Coming for absolutely everybody in the game. Miguel, I won the rest of those teeth. I'm putting up in my man. I'm coming for you. Everybody in the super middleweight division, I want those belts. I want to unify. Of course, I want Golovkin. Of course, I want Saunders. Step up. We've got the platform now. Let's get these fights going.
Do you feel happier at super middleweight? You said to me earlier this week, it's great being super middleweight. I can have eggs and turkey for breakfast. I don't have to starve myself. Do you feel most comfortable at this weight?
I'm comfortable at middleweight and super middleweight. You know, I'm a professional. I'm in shape at all times, all year round. You know, I was in Dubai for 3 months. I was shadowboxing on yachts. You know, it doesn't matter where I'm in the world. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Boxing is always in my mind. Super middleweight and middleweight. I'm comfortable at both weights. I want everybody in the division.
Let's get an assessment from everybody here. Lennox, what would you say to Chris on his performance?
I say, you know,
I forgot how long ITV
tonight's performance
and Dave TV
very well
post fight
done.
interviews be.
Champion of the world, congratulations. Perfect.
Now, what did you want to say about? You wanted to say something about the left hook, didn't you, at the start of a few rounds, unbalancing himself?
Don't worry, we're gonna teach him that in the gym.
Yeah.
But a couple times he did throw his left hook a bit wide, and a couple times he threw it wide and caught him because Quinlan's head was there. But you know, as he improves, he's gonna get better, and that left hook's gonna become more better and better.
I'm you know, everybody's still
okay.
No matter how long you've been in the game, there's still things you can improve on. It's my first step up to super middleweight, so I'm still testing the waters. But I'm in the gym every day. I'm getting better by each day, and you can see it in the performances. So there's going to be a hell of a lot more to come this year.
Okay, let's get Andre in and your assessment. And what do you want to say to Chris?
It was a great performance. This is the type of fight that he needed to fight like this, perform like this. And Quinlan was no joke. You know, these guys are hard to fight because he's not quite at the world-class level, but he's a tough contender. And he's the type of guy that if you slip up one time, he was trying to land that counter right hand. Every time Junior threw his big right hand, and he took some shots. He got out of the way of most of them, but he handled his business like a consummate professional. And hopefully this IBO belt is the beginning and you know, the first of many.
It's just the beginning. This is the beginning.
They are running their mouth, aren't they?
All on ITV. Let's make these fights happen.
Absolutely. We'll speak to Dan in a second. Jude, what about the word to Chris?
Well, we got to hear about him from him.
Congratulate, it was a fantastic victory. I think he showed a good educated jab in there. Hit the kid with some beautiful uppercuts. Very, very patient, which is like what I like to see. You sparred with one of my nephews, I believe.
running their mouth.
And he said to me, you were incredibly strong. And he's a super middleweight. And if he says you're strong, then you are strong. Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months from now? Who are you calling out first?
I've said the names. I've said all the marquee names in the division.
Do you think you will perform better at super middle or middle? Because you are
I can't answer that because I've only had one fight at the middleweight.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've performed well tonight, but I've still got a lot.
I gotta cut this shit off.
Two of the biggest fights in boxing to be made in the middleweight division. So I'm not going to say that I only want to fight in middleweight.
He already answered the question.
I want Golovkin. So
What kind of joke is this?
Either one of the ways. Whoever steps up first, that's who I think.
Let's have a word with Dad then, Chris Senior. Chris, when any father does something in life, it's great. But when their
Jesus
son
Christ.
goes and does it, quite often feels better, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness. You know, right away through my career, I could never really enjoy it because I was always at work. I knew there was another fight to actually have after defending the title. And I'm so relaxed. I mean, the work has been so tough over these last 5.5 years, him being a pro. And him doing this tonight, there is a must for words. Husband, a must for words. That is this. And the performance, he hasn't fought for 8 months. No, guys. He hasn't fought for 8 months. So there was a little ring rust. But still, and even when he got a little bit tired, he then started to put punches together like I've been telling him in the gym, nice and light, sticking him off. It was a beautiful. The longer it went on, the more beautiful it became. I don't drink alcohol and I don't smoke cigars, but tonight I may make an exception.
In both departments.
Yes.
This is the worst. This is the worst. Let's get this shit off my mouth. That's the worst post-fight. They need to put some better shit together than that. I got shit to do. I'm sitting there wondering, like, I'm fucking recording a video. I can't listen to this shit. You know? So basically, to round things up, you know, he said he wants Golovkin. We'll see if he can get Golovkin, because after Golovkin fight Jacobs, he has to fight Turiano Johnson. If not Turiano Johnson, he wants Canelo, and Golden Boy promised us the Canelo fight, you know, in the fall. Unless Canelo loses to Chavez Jr., which he might. You know, he's saying he wants James DeGale, but they burnt bridges with Eddie Hearn, who James DeGale is represented by. And Al Heyman. They didn't burn bridges with Al Heyman, but basically, James DeGale and Eddie Hearn are working together again. So it's like, you know, like I like Chris Eubank Jr. He is good for the 160 or 168 pound division, but it's time for him to start doing something. And with this are they a new promotional company, Poxon Sports? You know, they got to be aggressive. So far, they have been aggressive by putting him on pay-per-view in this type of fight against a guy who was what? Now he's 11-2. And Renold Quinlan. They built this whole IBO title up, but I already explained the significance of that earlier in the video. So it's like, now we're going to see what they do, man. You know, but this year, in 2017, since this fight is in February, the beginning of February, it's February the 4th, in 2017, he has to have a big fight. And let me just rattle off some names for you. You know, let me rattle off some names. You know, I mean, fuck it. Give me a Martin Murray. You know? Fuck that. He's got to have a bigger fight than that. You know? He's got to have a bigger fight than that. You know, give me a Martin Murray. I don't want to see no Daniel Gill. You know, no. Let me go look at middleweight. Throw some names out there. You know, Hassan Endon, Willie Monroe. You know, give us something where fans are like, oh shit. You know, he got to give us one of those. You know, Matvey, give me a Matvey Korobov. You know, I'm just throwing names out there. You know, but with the names that he's fighting, this was like, okay, all right. You know, you've been calling out these people you had the chance to fight Golovkin and you didn't. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. All the links to my social media right down below in the description box. And yes, we are 3 weeks away from being back full-time. When I say full-time is, for the people who've been pissed off at me saying, yo, you keep doing these hour-long, 2-hour, 3-hour, 8-hour videos. You know, get back to doing the shorter videos. Yes, we're getting there. We're close. The closest we ever been. So get off my back. Please subscribe.